Transia seems to be the rally point for Hydra's forces.
Did you read today's book?
Of course, but you'll get nothing out of me until the meeting.
Will I see you at the meeting?
Maybe. Depends how bored I am.
Are you heading to the meeting?
Yeah, I'll be there shortly.
Coming to book club tonight?
Meet you there.
Let's get moving.
My plan backfired. Thought choosing a weird book would drive people away.
Why would you do that?
More punch for the rest of us.
Why have I not heard of Crash Morgan? I know it's an older book, but this is exactly the kind of story I like.
I was up all night finishing this book. I should have read it earlier.
I thought Logan might bail, but I told him we bring more snacks this time. I have him figured out. Can we start?
I am ready.
All right, Logan, I need to know. Why did you choose this book?
I'll tell you, just not yet. I want to hear what you thought of this book.
It was written in the 1940s, so I expected some repugnant attitudes and phrases. But it surprised me. The writing was simple, yet the story was deeper than it had any right to be.
What was your favorite part?
It's in the chapter where Crash and the princess escape the Zorgots. The next morning, they see the sun rise and Mars rising beside it. When the princess asks what the future holds and Crash just stares at Mars as it eclipses the sun, it gave me chills.
Is it just me, or do the stellar bodies represent their time together?
Absolutely. The time they have together is fleeting. I think this is where Crash first realizes there's no future for the two of them. Anyway, I think the moment gets lost when the Zorgots deploy their Null Stalkers.
I don't get why the robot dog didn't warn them. I thought it could talk.
Not until number 19, the minefields of the reticulates. It's a whole thing.
Got it. So, what's the idea with Crash's promise?
What about it?
When Crash apprehends Glaxogorp, they have a tense conversation in the back of the flypod. Crash says there's a way the Zorgots can leave the moon with everything they want, but the princess must take the throne. Then Crash vows that no queen of royal blood shall ever rule Deimos. Glaxogorp agrees, but why? Crash breaks the vow in the next chapter.
Glaxogorp agrees because all Zorgots know Crash never lies.
Isn't that the point? Crash cares so deeply for the princess that even a vow can be broken. And how does that tie into the Hydro gunfight at the top of the space scraper?
Really? You don't see it?
I do.
They're shapeshifters.
Who?
Crash and Glaxogorp.
No.
Yep.
But then, when do they...
The Hydro gunfight. Crash gets hit in the helmet and goes down. And what happens whenever Crash is unconscious?
The helmet changes color. Turns bronze like the suit.
Right. Then Glaxogorp pulls up on the rocket sled and takes Crash and the princess into custody. That's when they make the switch. Crash and Glaxogorp change form, but where do they stash the princess?
It is obvious. They put her in Crash's suit.
Exactly. Crash won't need it to survive because they're within the bubble city. So we get to the Deimos Council meeting. The princess refuses the throne and declares her love for Crash, who is the princess in Crash's suit. When they embrace, the false princess deactivates the Magna Manacles binding Crash. But Crash nabs the Star Scepter from the fake princess, activates the suit's Zoom vest, and smashes through the monoculus.
So, if that's the actual princess, she escapes. But who is the false princess?
That's a shape-shifted Glaxogorp. Without the Star Scepter, Deimos can't crown their queen.
Right. She never wanted it, and the Zorgots definitely don't want it. Glaxogorp, posing as the princess, can steer Deimos away from war.
And when the fake Glaxogorp vows the Star Scepter shall be restored to the princess, that's actually Crash.
So Crash made 2 vows and broke neither of them. The cliffhanger with Glaxogorp chasing Crash's ship is actually Crash returning to the princess so they can escape Deimos.
You got it. They reveal the switcheroo at the beginning of number 6, Attack of the Intergalactic Space Weasels.
Clever. I like it more now. And that's where we'll call it for tonight.
So, Logan, why did you pick this book?
Because it's fun.
No other reason?
Every book doesn't need to be a teachable moment.
Fair enough.
I almost wish this book was a comic instead. I would have liked to see the monoculus.
I wonder if Tony could build me a robot dog.
My book was the best of them.
You have only been to 2 meetings.
Yeah, but you know I'm right.
You did not mention a book for next time.
Yeah, with everything going on, I'm gonna put book club on a hiatus until things are less apocalyptic.
I hope we come back to this in the future.
Same here. Books are a gourmet meal for thought. Not to call anyone out, but you just can't feed your mind gristle.
Who else would you invite if you could?
There's a lawyer who got me out of a bad situation a few years back. Smart as a whip, picks up on subtle things even I tend to miss. As long as the books we read have Braille copies, I could convince him. Actually, I need to thank you for sticking around since the beginning. For all your help with Carol.
Of course.
I don't get close to many people. I never get into relationships. That's not a rule I ever break. But I did with Carol. Beyond all the reasons, I find her amazing. Do you know why?
You are into her because she can kick your ass.
That's exactly it.
Really? I was joking.
I'm not. Vampires fight dirty. They'll kill whoever you love just because they can. If they really want you to suffer, they'll turn your true love into one of them. That's why dating me is a death sentence, and I refuse to put that weight on anyone. But can you imagine some pissant vampire trying to chow down on Captain Marvel? First, his fangs would snap off on contact with her skin. Then she'd just chuck it into space. No hiding from the sun out there. There's no way they can ever touch her. But it's not just that.
It is you. She is safe from you.
Yeah. I never break my rule because I know deep down there's a chance I could lose control. But with Carol, hell, she could hold me over her head till I was myself again. Wouldn't even break a sweat.
Completely unrelated, I want to watch Captain Marvel bench press Blade.
I would not.
You are no fun.
And you already knew that. Well, I'm glad you joined me for all of this. Maybe next time the world is ending, I'll start a sparring club.
A sparring club? Is that just training with a fancy name?
You saw right through me. You leaving?
That is it for me.
Later then.
transient